we playing the game Where in the World is Mac this evening? Or this
Yeah.
week, should I say?
You don't want to guess. I'm in the great state of Mississippi.
Oh, good
Where
barbecue.
I think it hit 100 degrees here today.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Right.
I remember Mississippi, yes, for barbecue. What about-
Not that I'm aware of. It's more like I think fried chicken and sort of southern comfort food.
That's all right. That's good too.
That's fine too. I was
They
in
have hot chicken though.
I was in Kansas last week. That was barbecue town.
Ah, there you go.
Yeah.
There's Brad.
Hello.
Is Brad? Oh, there's Brad. I
Yep.
see he's zooming in. Hey, Brad.
Hey, you guys hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Is Vero joining us?
I think the word is we're not certain yet.
Okay.
If she's even questionably still contagious, then hopefully she remains at home. Shelter in place. This is the right one. Janie.
Did I see Janie Anderson walk by?
We got Janie.
Well, then the meeting can start, damn it.
You got it.
It's very weird not to be there. Is Linda Dillon in attendance?
Not yet, at least.
There's Vero.
Linda had a day. All right.
Hi, guys.
There she
You
is.
sound better.
Oh,
Amsler,
I'm back.
how you
Yeah.
feeling?
I feel like myself actually today. I was telling Brad earlier, him and I spoke and kick me on the butt.
You still sound a little throaty.
A little off.
Yeah, but I feel like $1,000,000. So I'll take it.
There you go.
Good.
Yeah.
Well then, I got 5:30, so why don't we go ahead and get started? Call this meeting to order. Today is August 6, 2024, 5:30, our special commission meeting. Madam Clerk, could you please call the roll for us?
Mayor Gross.
Here.
Vice Mayor Huntington.
Here.
Commissioner Amsler.
Here.
Commissioner Gonzalez. Commissioner Kennedy.
Here.
Mr. Mayor, you have a quorum.
Very good. Pledge of allegiance, please.
United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Alrighty, let's go ahead and move on to public comment. We'll start in the log cabin. No public comment in the log cabin, and seeing none on Zoom, we will move right on. So let's go ahead and skip on down to number 6, our resolutions, and the resolution that we have is 2024-30. Brad, are you able to read it, or would you like me to read it on the
Yeah,
record for us?
I can read it if you all can hear me.
Yep.
Okay. It's a resolution of the Village Commission of the Village of Biscayne Park, Florida, adopting the annual solid waste assessment for fiscal year 2024-2025, establishing the assessment rate for solid waste service against assessed property located within the Village of Biscayne Park for the fiscal year beginning October 1, 2024 through September 30th, 2025, providing for severability and providing for an effective date.
Thank you, Brad. Do I have a motion, a second on the resolution to move to discussion?
Motion to move to discussion.
All right. And the second, Mac?
Second.
Okay, we got it. Okay, so go ahead and open up the item to discussion if there is any to be had at this time. Any here? No? Any on
Couple of
Zoom?
things-
Sorry, Matt, go ahead. Say that again.
a couple of things, if you don't mind.
Sure.
Okay. So, Brad, most of these questions I think are going to be for you. Section 4.
Okay.
Says the annual solid waste assessment for fiscal 24-25, blah, 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 and it tells the total for the village. And it breaks it
Right.
down at the end to $790.96 for each property assessed for solid waste services. For the fiscal, this is my question, for the fiscal year 2023 to 2024 and future fiscal years.
Show me what section you're looking at.
Section 4.
It's in the first
The-
paragraph about halfway down, Brad.
It's
Yeah, I
in the
see where
first
it's on.
part, yeah. It says for the fiscal year 2024 to 2025, that's the upcoming year, the estimated
It should
total
be-
cost is blank.
Right, so it's, final rate of assessment equal to 790 for each.
Yep.
For the so that's a typo that I missed. So it should read 2024, 2025.
Got it? Okay. Correct to 2024 to 2025. Okay, that was the first part of the question. The second part is, let's pretend it's corrected. Then it would read for the fiscal year 2024 to 2025 and future fiscal years. It makes it sound like we're setting that rate of $790.96 for future fiscal years as well. And we set it each year separately. I'd hate for someone to think they're beholden to that price ongoing.
Well, they're not. I mean, your special assessment with regards to solid waste is based on your agreement with your present vendor, which is Great Waste.
Uh-huh.
So you're going to be setting it in future years based on that contract.
Yep.
So next year you will come back if it's the contract, and I don't remember the term of the contract, but if
think
the
it's up.
contract is still in effect,
Yep.
then your rate is unchanged pursuant to the contract, then your rate would stay, your special assessment would stay the same.
So then why does it say and future fiscal years?
Because you're going to be,
Read the sentence. It says equal to $791. We'll call it for each property assessed for solid waste services for this fiscal year that we're talking about and future fiscal years. It says we're setting the rate of $791 for this year and future years. Why is that
Yeah.
in future years there?
well, you are setting it for future years, subject to it being changed by resolution. If you're more comfortable, I can take that language out though, and you can make a motion and have it removed.
I am, guys. What do you think? Because it really sounds like we're setting it for that rate for future years, and it could go up, it could go down, it could stay the same. We're only setting it for this year. This resolution is to set it for this fiscal year in question only.
And you can always, but you can always change it by resolution at any time, quite frankly. But I mean, for a special assessment, you'd have to do it yearly. So next year you can change it. But like I said, if you want that language taken out, we
I
can
think
do
it should
that
be
by
stricken.
motion.
We do set
and
this
we
every
can-
year.
Yeah, and we can approve it as amended.
Yeah, I agree.
That's fine.
Okay, so we'll straighten that. In section 4, we're gonna fix the years to 2024-2025 and end the sentence there, strike and future fiscal years.
Yep, I'll remove that language.
Very good, thank you. Now, Brad.
Yeah.
There's other language in here that we set this as a set fee per property, meaning it's one price for everybody.
Correct.
Later in the language, it says the solid waste assessment is fairly and reasonably apportioned among the residential properties that receive the special benefit. And it uses the word apportioned. So we apportion it as one set amount per property. So if somebody lives
Correct.
in a single bedroom, single family home, they pay that fee. They live in a duplex, they pay the fee. They build a new McMansion on Griffin and it has 10 bedrooms,
Pay the same-
they pay the same
Pay
fee.
the same
So
fee.
right.
Correct.
So my question to you is, are there more equitable ways to set these fees and that might be used by other municipalities? And I'm not suggesting we change it here on the fly tonight, but I'm just thinking out loud, like, do all communities do it this way? I guess that's my first question. Or do some say, look, you base it on the number of bedrooms because you don't know how many people live in the home to generate solid waste. I understand that.
I'd have
Are
to
there other
research.
ways to more fairly do that?
This is the way I've seen it generally done. I would have to research to see if there are any jurisdictions that do it based on square footage of the residence or number of
Number of
bedrooms or
bedrooms,
whatever whatever the criteria might be. I'd have to do some research to see
Well,
how
we're
else the
not-
assessment's done.
I'm not
But
suggesting
I've
we look at
generally
for
seen
this
it
year.
done. I've generally seen it done in this manner.
I'd love to know that because, when I read this language that says it's fairly and reasonably apportioned among the residential properties, you know, one might argue that. I would want to hear that argument that a 10-bedroom home, it's not fair that they pay the same that a 2-bedroom home does. So I would like to know that for future reference, but not for tonight.
Yeah,
There's
I
also
mean,
language in-
yeah,
Okay. So if you could get back to us on that at some point, and again, that's no rush, obviously. There's other language
Yes.
in here that I have a question about the properties that are under construction now. There's language that says assessments are also levied and imposed against all property for which a CO is issued after adoption of this final assessment resolution based upon the rates of assessment approved herein. Meaning, a property is built and they get the CO in January, they're going to have to pay the same fee. Is that,
correct.
is it prorated based on when they get that CO? And are they being levied? What about a property that's under construction now that doesn't have a CO? I'm thinking of like a couple of big ones on Griffin, well, throughout the village. There's properties that are under
If they don't have a-
construction.
if they
no
don't
one's
have a
living in them.
Right, so then presumably they're not using solid waste.
Exactly.
So, but once they get the CO, and I would have to defer to, I'm not sure exactly how it's apportioned. My understanding is that it's not a portion. They pay the full assessment, but I would have to defer to the village staff as to how they're apportioning that.
I'd be curious to know that as well. I'm just trying to look to make sure everything's always, you know, equitable. So I'd like to know that too. Is it prorated or is it just they get the same flat fee? Because is someone answering the question? I thought I heard someone in there at Village Hall talking. So I'm just curious, all these properties under construction, are they going to have the same fee applied to their property on October 1 or later when they get the CO, and do they pay the full rate? I'd like to know that. Then the other two comments are kind of perfunctory. Section 5, the public hearing time is incorrect. It says 6 p.m. and this meeting was noticed for 5:30 p.m. So that needs to be corrected. And then in section
I'll
6,
change that.
in section 6 is regarding the public notice for this meeting itself. I haven't seen that public notice. Was the time in that public notice correct? Or are we holding the meeting at a time that doesn't align with a public notice, which could possibly bite us in the butt?
The public, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, the public notice is attached to the exhibit as exhibit A to the resolution. It says
Let me look.
it says 5:30.
It says 5:30.
So,
Okay, good. Just wanted to
It
make
says Tuesday, August 6th at 5:30. So I have to change section 5 to comply with the actual notice that went out. And I will get, as far as section 6, I will get with the clerk to find out the date that it was actually it was mailed. So I can add that
Well, I
in.
wasn't questioning the
Yes.
date it was mailed. I was just questioning the time in the notice itself
No, I get it. I'm saying I also have to get with the clerk to just fill in
to
that.
make sure
the
we
highlighted
noticed properly.
section.
Okay. Yeah, because we
Correct.
actually, Art, help me remember here. This is the one that we screwed up one time, right? And we had to go back and redo it.
I think
Because it
what
wasn't noticed
happened
properly?
is you didn't,
Yeah.
I don't know if
No.
it was a notice issue. I think what happened is you didn't do your final. You did the preliminary, but didn't do a final a
Okay.
couple of years ago, from what I
I know
was told.
something went sideways on this once before.
No, it was
Okay.
the notice went out and it wasn't agenda for the date that the notice went out. So
Oh,
we had
okay.
to come back and put it back on the agenda for the next meeting.
Say that again?
You repeat that, Madam Clerk?
On the last time when this was heard, your former clerk left right after it was noticed and it was not added to the agenda for the next meeting.
That's what it was.
And so we had to add it to one of the budget hearing meetings, but the notice went out,
Was
correct?
that September 26th?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay. Those are my questions and comments. Thanks.
Okay. Any other discussion points on the item?
I didn't get the agenda itself. I don't know if anybody else is missing it, but I just want to make sure that we distribute the agenda for any of the meetings that we have to the whole staff, meaning the commission in this case, but also Bradley. I don't know if anybody else was missing the agenda besides me.
I didn't get it. I pulled it up online.
Okay. Pamela, can you make sure that on every meeting that we have, we send a formal agenda by mail to everybody that needs to be present with the appropriate time?
By mail? Oh,
No.
By email, sorry.
okay.
That's all we need. Sorry.
Yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Okay, so if there's no other points to be made on the item, well, we have it, we have
Yes.
the amended, it's an amended motion.
Yeah, same.
Go ahead, Brad.
You need a motion so you need a new motion as amended in a second.
Okay, so do I have a motion for the amended motion?
Made the motion. I think Ryan did. Does he need to correct
Go ahead,
it?
Brian.
Motion to approve as amended.
And a second?
And can you just tell me, I'm sorry, can you just tell me who's moving and who's seconding? I just can't see.
Vice Mayor Huntington moved and Commissioner
And I'll second
Gonzalez second,
Thank you.
or Commissioner Kennedy, either, or both.
Commissioner
Okay.
Ansler did the first one.
Okay, great. Okay,
Is- Would it be me doing the second?
no, we already have it.
Okay.
Okay, so Madam Clerk, can you take a vote on this one, please?
Mayor Gross,
Yes.
Vice Mayor Huntington,
Yes.
Commissioner Amsler,
Yes.
Commissioner Gonzalez, Commissioner Kennedy.
Yes.
The item passes 5-0.
Very good. Anything else before we get to adjournment? Okay, so motion to adjourn?
Second.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.